Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever it is that you are in the world, welcome to episode 2 of the Long Way to the Top podcast. I'm your host, Anthony, and I'll be taking you on a weekly music journey through the minds of musicians worldwide. A little about myself. I'm a singer-songwriter and guitarist from the United States. I've been writing original songs now for over a decade, so I have a high appreciation for learning about people or their thoughts through song. I started this podcast in hopes of building a worldwide community of original bands and music lovers alike. A place where we can share unknown pieces of our homes to a bigger audience of like-minded people around the world. Now obviously these things take time, but you've got to start somewhere. And for me, that somewhere is the Long Way to the Top podcast, episode 2, Murder Bizkitz. And now a word from our sponsors at Doomtown Radio with Wrongstar.
When you need help, Wrongstar is there.
Wrongstar Dispatch, Michael speaking. How may I assist you?
Yeah, I found my no good husband cheating on me, and now I'm gonna beat his fucking face in.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Now tell me, did you happen to kill the woman he was with?
Oh, I fucked her up real good, man.
Okay, well, first things first, you're gonna need to dispose of the body. Personally, I recommend...
For just $19.95 a month, Wrongstar will be standing by 24/7 to help you with life's little moments and get you back in the clear.
Is the body disposed of, ma'am?
Yeah, for sure.
Glad to hear it. Now, we need to figure out what to do with that bitch husband of yours. Personally, I recommend...
For everything else, there's Wrongstar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prophets of Death by Murder Bizkitz. This week's guests are Bangkok's hardcore punk rock band, Murder Bizkitz. JB and I sat down with the boys and had a fun conversation about how the band got together, musical influences, and why it costs so much to see a live show here in Bangkok. Before we get started, I'd like to take a minute to talk about what we can do to help the music scene. I've noticed something about the scene here in Bangkok, among other places. There are bands of many genres playing kick-ass music all around the city. One thing is for sure, there is definitely no shortage of talent here. Now, in my humble opinion, the problem is that not everyone is working together to help strengthen the scene to its full potential. The punks support the punk rock shows, the hardcore bands support the hardcore shows, and the metalheads, well, they support the metal shows. There's just too much going on at the same time with little to no crowd because it's all so separated. And listen, I get it. It's nice to feel like you're a part of something, but there's a bigger picture here. We're all in the same game, the game of entertaining the world with our songs. We may play different types of music, but make no mistake, we are brothers and sisters of the arts. And that, my friends, is a very small circle of people on this planet, something not to be taken for granted. I believe that in order for us to succeed, we must absolutely start connecting as one and showing our support in order to bring more people together at once. I don't know much, but I do know that there is a great power in numbers. Let's take a look at the American stand-up comedy scene. I've been a huge fan of stand-up comedy for most of my life. I remember in high school, I went to my friend Bucko's house to hang out one day after school. He brought out his dad's VHS copy of Eddie Murphy's 1983 stand-up special, Delirious. He put that tape into the VCR and we were on our way to discovering one of the funniest things we had ever seen in our lives. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'd never seen anything like it before. There were thousands of people completely entranced by this 20-something-year-old man, and he was just talking. He fed off that crowd and performed one of the best specials ever created. But back in the 80s and 90s, it was rare for a comic to score such a big venue. They had to be discovered, usually by sitting on the couch of Johnny Carson or Dave Letterman. The problem was everyone was fighting for that spot, and comics would sabotage each other's shows just so they could get closer to that spot on the couch. Now, the ones that made it ended up being millionaires, but the vast majority struggled for their entire careers because it was just a fight with everyone. Now let's fast forward to 2018. The American stand-up comedy success rate is at an all-time high. Why, you ask? Because they've found a way to work together. No matter the style of comedy, they are all comedians. They support each other's podcasts, their specials, and promote each other on their social media pages. They work together to create festivals and animated television series for Netflix. This is the big leagues. Now, how did they get there? Well, in the words of Elon Musk after he smoked a joint with Joe Rogan, love is the answer. Now, we can learn something from these comics. If we want to be successful, then we should be working together instead of letting our egos get in the way. Punks, metalheads, and all core fans uniting as one, sharing our audience with each other while we work together to get higher paying gigs at quality venues. We can create something here that we can never do on our own, something that could leave behind a legacy. Now that starts with me and you. That means headliners, show up early to support the acts that open before you. That means opening bands, stick around after your set and support the bands that play after you, okay? Take it from me. I'm a 38-year-old struggling musician who refuses to give up the dream. It doesn't have to be just a dream. Let's make it our reality. But we as artists, we work too hard to be placed on the side as secondary citizens. We all have our place in this world, whether it be doctors, teachers, firemen, or musicians. But we have to stick together. It's time again for a rock revolution. Now this is where I give a shout out to the boys over at Punk Rock Bangkok. JB, Charlie, and Nico are a huge example of what the music scene needs now. They're called Punk Rock Bangkok, but that doesn't stop them from showing the support for all local musicians of all different genres all around Bangkok. They are killing it in the punk and hardcore scene. For more information on what they're doing, head over to their website at punkrockbkk.com. That's Punk Rock Bangkok, punkrockbkk.com. Alright, it's time to get started on today's episode. So here it is, JB and my interview with Murder Bizkitz.
I'm Tony, I'm the guitarist.
I'm Pan, I play bass.
And I'm Noe, I'm the drummer of Murder Bizkitz.
Right on.
Okay. And,
Welcome to A Long Way to the Top.
Thank you.
All right, so where's the name come from, Murder Bizkitz?
Comes from two bands. Gorilla Biscuits is the biscuits pot, and the Murder Junkies, G.G. Allen and the Murder Junkies is where the murder part. So I just took the two names. We had a show, and basically we didn't have a name, so we had to come up with something really quick. And the others weren't coming up with names, so I just went, fuck it, this, and just put those two names in the hat.
Good band names come out. I just had to let's come up with something, you know.
Yeah, we're kind of forced into making a decision on the name within about a 10-minute period.
Yeah. So what was, let's talk about the start of the Murder Bizkitz and then what it's evolved to since then.
The original was a South Korean lady, which you know.
Yeah.
And myself. Basically, so we were just getting a band together, and we got another guy, Thai drummer, and the three of us didn't have a bass player. We just played straight guitar, the female singer and the drummer, and that's basically how we started.
When was that?
That was in 2015, just at the end. It was actually us and God Hates probably started right at exactly the same time.
Oh, nice.
Because they were on the bill, actually, the first gig we played, which was a studio gig, which means it's basically a rehearsal studio, and they just turn it into
I think that was the
concert.
Gig.
Yeah.
God Hates' first show was at Fatty's Bar.
Oh, right, okay, that was the second for them, but it was the first for us,
I remember that show, yeah.
Yeah, so
You've been around that long, Jesus.
So that was like
3 years ago.
late 2015.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
When did you meet these guys?
We needed a drummer really to bring the music. You know, basically Noi joining the band basically kicked the band right up the asshole, man, because the tempo really needed to go in that direction. I was trying to do real fast stuff, and the other drummers were going, get the fuck out of here, man, that's just like, I can't play that. Then he came in.
So I knew this guy, his name is Hai. He's also a mutual friend of Ethan. Ethan took me to a birthday party. I met Hai there. We became friends. I talked to Hai. Yeah, he's a fusion guitar player. He's very talented. And he was all like, "Hey man, so it's in my school. There's this punk rock drummer," and I was like, okay.
Yeah, because I used to play with Hai and some other guys at my school, but we weren't really rehearsing that much. We had maybe about two or three concerts in a year, and maybe like three rehearsal. So I was kind of pissed off, but that was the only guys that could play like the style I liked, which was Foo Fighters at the time, and a little bit of Rage Against the Machine, but still it wasn't going anywhere. And those guys were about to leave next year because their school was finished. The real story is that you sent me a message, hey Noé. Ethan told me that you wanted to play. We can play together if you want. And I answered yes, okay, and I've waited for a fucking month for him to respond.
From my perspective, just one day he said, like, we've got this new drummer, and then he said the age of the guy, and I'm going, fuck.
Yeah, because it was 2 years ago. I was 15 at the time.
Okay, so you're 17 now.
So I'm 17 now.
And how old is everybody in the band?
24.
17, 24, and
47.
Oh, excellent. So this was released this year?
Yeah, it was released this year, maybe a couple of months ago. I'm not sure.
2 to 3 months ago.
Yeah, but
where can people find this?
We can find it at Heaven and Hell Records, but this is an actual CDR. It's not this is another thing. We keep the price low. I've noticed that when you go to shows, so you've got this press CD, and it's cost you like 100 odd baht or something to make one. So you got to make the price 200 and 300 baht, and
to make money.
And a lot of kids are just not going to buy. It's on Spotify, Deezer, iTunes Music,
Apples. Like all
everything, really.
All the streaming service that you can think of.
Do you have them available for download anywhere?
Yeah. It's on
Bandcamp.
It's on Bandcamp.
It's on Bandcamp. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
There's a few songs on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to listen to it.
Yeah, the thing I've seen a lot of is a real kind of re-release of like the do-it-yourself style, because I think now that a lot of the labels like Epitaph and Fat and stuff don't do as much punk for whatever reason.
No, we were talking about that to Tommy. I mean, a lot of bands back there in Scotland, they're signed, man, but they don't. What did they do for the band? They only put. You know what they did? Actually, they put them on Spotify. That was like.
We actually sat down and like assemble the whole thing ourselves. We cut and we like it's full blown minor thread, old school DIY, man.
Awesome. Let's talk about influences.
Yeah, that's it.
What kind of bands influenced you to get into music and then write for music or write for Murder Bizkitz?
Oh, for the Murder Bizkitz.
You mean like for the
Well, what got you into wanting to play music first? And
Sex Pistols?
Okay.
Yeah, Sex Pistols. When I was at school.
Yeah.
Sex Pistols. I mean, Sex Pistols when hadn't really split up that long when I started getting into punk rock. It was Sex Pistols had been split up for maybe 6 years or something like that. Six years. So yeah, Sex Pistols and the Damned. That was my big. I was a Damned fanatic for years. So still am. Still love the Damned. But it's that whole first album. Yeah. It's a real raw album. Damned.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the influence. Bad Brains and Black Flag as well.
We got a lot of Bad Brains in there.
But when I've actually started writing stuff for this band, it's mostly with the Amy lineup. It was a lot of crust type stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but for this lineup, it's mostly Bad Brains, kind of like Black Flag.
Rage. We got a bit of Rage in there as well.
There's a bit of Rage in there. There's a little bit of Slayer in there as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We take pride in like tensions, like creative tensions, in the fact that we're three different personalities and we all bring in something completely different to the table. I mean, we really like.
If I write something, I've got to come in and like these two have got to make it work.
I think that's what makes.
Yeah,
that's what
you know
makes
what I mean.
bands
Yeah.
So okay, I did
music.
write the song. I did write the riff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I did write the lyrics. You know, I'm the songwriter, but it actually takes they two to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Make it sound good.
We're actually going to go back in. We've had a bit of a break for about 3 weeks, but we're going to go back in and start writing some new stuff.
What's your next show upcoming?
The next one we've actually got booked is in Malaysia, the Pirate Punk Jungle Fest. I'm not sure how this is going to be. They actually said they're going to, pick us up and take us out there. So,
Cool.
Yeah, so that it should be good.
Yeah,
It'll be
good
fun.
adventure.
It'll be an interesting adventure.
We're on day 2.
Those guys are super nice. Oh, you guys are playing?
I think we're on day 2.
Oh, you guys are playing Saturday, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a bit of a quick one though. We're going to go in there, play, and then we're going to head back to Thailand. We're not hanging it. We don't, because of work commitments and stuff like that. We've got to get back up here.
And I'm still in school, so
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, balancing your real life with your touring life, especially. All the bands I know out here aren't really. They're making a little bit off merch, but most of them are just out there, which we like. Great to have the bands doing what they do, and we want to do all we can to support the bands. And we want more bands to come here.
That's why we need more gigs. We really need to get rid of the merch. Ticket prices. I mean,
you don't make money on ticket prices.
No, not really. No,
we're not. No. It's not really. We're not.
Here, it's a different kind of environment from Scotland. Scotland, you would actually get 3 bands maybe at tops.
Yeah.
But like in these lineups here in Southeast Asia, man, they pile on like it's like mini fests.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah.
Like
too many bands sometimes.
Lots
Too
of
many.
bands.
It's like how many bands can we put on in one gig? Like.
Yeah, that's the Southeast Asian way,
Yeah.
Because you can only play 30 minutes or so. Sometimes you'd actually rather play more.
Yeah,
kind of cut you off.
Right.
When you're spending 30 minutes for a sound check and you get to play for 20, it's kind of.
How many minutes is that? That's about
34
minutes. That's the whole album. We can do the whole album in 34 minutes.
Yeah.
On our last gig, actually, we were supposed to sound check, but we thought that was the gig because people were like walking in.
Yeah.
So we sound checked literally the whole set. We played the whole set, and we thought that it was a set, but instead it was a sound check. And then me and our drummer just went off on our merry way. We had no idea that we haven't even played the gig yet.
We went to play video games.
Yeah, we went to play video games. We went to play computer games because there's like a computer cafe like right next to the gig, right?
Yeah.
So we just went there. We just playing around. Next thing you know, Tony called us up. Hey man, our organizer wants us to play again. We were like, what the fuck you mean? Where do you play? You haven't seen us yet. We should come back and play it again. And we were like, okay.
So that's one thing about some of the venues too. They charge so much for everything. You know how much? 40,000. It's like just to get the Hollywood Awards, it's like 40,000 baht. So basically,
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, to put it out. So like this is the reason why everyone's like, oh, why are they charging so much for Agnostic Front for these? It's because the money they have to put out and to get back. You know, I mean, and so the promoter has to be willing. How many people are actually going to come to the show? And that's the thing. People need to come out to support the scene. And what else are you going to, why don't you come out? That's the thing. Like, there's so many foreigners, right, in Bangkok. And other people, Thais, whatever.
But
right?
They're
into that music.
When I was doing it in the 90s in Scotland, the whole UK scene is a lot worse. I mean, they've got a thing called pay to play.
Yeah.
You actually have to go in, hire their PA.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you're bringing customers into their bar who are buying their beer, and you know how much beer is in the UK. It's not like it's a lot of money, So you're paying, it's like £5 a pint.
Yep.
So you're bringing all these guys in, and on top of that, you've got to hire the. So I mean, to be honest with you, it's not that bad actually.
No, it's not that bad. Hollywood, what they do with the bands is that on the Sunset Strip, the guys started a company. And that was a pay-for-play. So the bands had to buy tickets. And they're like, okay, you want to play the show with such and such headliner. All right, you're a smaller band, whatever. You got to sell tickets. You got to buy the tickets and then sell them yourself.
Too. What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. Then someone might be like, oh, okay, this is the deal. You gotta sell your tickets.
You gotta bring something to the table.
Yeah, you gotta bring something to the table.
We're giving you an audience and an opening slot. That makes sense. If you have a good show with a guaranteed crowd.
That's the thing, but a lot of people feel like a lot of the bands felt like, well, wait a minute, why am I'm not getting, really getting paid for it. So why am I, you know what I mean? I mean, they could overcharge the tickets that they're selling, right, to make the money back. But they're like, oh, we're giving you the opportunity.
They didn't get a cut of any of the tickets?
I don't remember. Well, I don't remember if they what the percentage was on it. I just remember that they had to buy so many, And I remember one show, my friend's band, the Rap Bastards, they were supposed to play, and half their people didn't get in, and it was like Too Short was performing, right? It was a big crowd, and they're like, dude, our people didn't get in. He was ready to sue the guy that ran the company. So
why didn't they get in?
Because it was there were so many people waiting in line to get into the show.
They sold out.
Yeah, they sold the show out.
And then had extra tickets for
sale.
It
was what had happened is, if you remember the fire in early 2000 when the Great White Fire. After that, everything changed with the venues, and they were they could only bring in so many people to the show, right? So yeah, basically they were waiting for people that had to leave. So there were big lines now forming, It wasn't like before when they just... So if they broke the fire code, they'd get in big trouble because people died in a fire in a Great White Show, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. So the next show you guys are...
in Malaysia,
in Malaysia. And you can find it on our site, Punk Rock Bangkok. So
we'll post a lot of the links.
We'll post the links.
Yeah, I'll post them again. Yeah. So that they're fresh. Yeah,
definitely.
A lot of the Thai bands, they kind of, you can imagine what's going on. Get me on your next show, and they've promised. Right. So there's so many bands that the bill fills up quickly, really quick. And then they go, that's the slot.
The Grindfest show, I actually met the guy at Immortal.
Okay.
Who, the guy was running it because they were promoting the show.
Okay.
I think it was on the Bayside show. Yeah.
All right.
And the guy was there, and I just went okay, I'm gate crashing the motherfucker. Can you give us a show? Can we play here, please? Who's running the show? Can we play here? And they were like, oh yeah, you can, but since the slot are all filled up, you're gonna be the first band to go up and play. And you're like, okay, fuck it, all right, let's do it. It's good. You know what? It's better than nothing. Let's just play.
You gotta work your way there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the problem too.
Long way to the top, man.
That's right.
Yeah, long way to the top. Yeah.
.223 ammo, full metal jacket.
my school. I really hate my parents, they treat me like a fool. They treat me like a loser, I'm gonna kill them all. I'm fully locked and loaded, we're gonna have a ball. Lock and loaded, 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 lock and loaded. I'm not a loser, I'll show them all. I really hate my teachers, I really hate my school. I really hate my parents, they treat me like a fool. They treat me like a loser, I'm gonna kill them all. I'm fully locked and loaded, we're gonna have a ball. Lock and loaded, 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 lock and loaded. I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be a star. Lock and loaded, 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 lock and loaded. I'm not a loser, I'll show them all. I really hate my teachers, I really hate my school. I really hate my parents, they treat me like a fool. They treat me like a loser, I'm gonna kill them all. I'm fully locked and loaded, we're gonna have a ball. AR-15 domestic assault rifle, Uzi 9mm, the perfect gift. 223 ammo, full metal jacket. AK-47 home edition. Treat me like a loser, they're gonna kill them all. I'm fully locked and loaded, they're gonna have a ball.
That was Lock and Load High School by Murder Bizkitz. They'll be performing at Libertasia on Saturday, December 1st, 2018 at a secret location outside of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. You can find more info on these guys at murderbizkitz.com. That's MurderBizkitz.com. Thanks again to all you listeners for tuning in. Big thanks to JB and the boys of Murder Bizkitz for taking the time to sit down and talk with us. A special thanks to Fox Wild and the boys at Doomtown Radio for all their support with advertisements on our opening music. Be sure to check out Doomtown Radio on their YouTube channel. If you or anyone you know are in a band and would like to be a guest on our show, send us an email with your biography, 1 to 2 original songs, a music video, and 3 to 5 band photos. Send that to longwaytothetoppodcast@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed our show this week. We'll see you next week. Now go out there and kick some ass.
Mind control.
This has been the Long Way to the Top podcast. Thanks for listening.